Welcome to Storytime with Herbal Roots zine. I'm Kristine Brown, and today I'm going to read to you the story from issue number 23, Celebrating Cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is another one of our warming spicy herbs that we find often in the kitchen, and you probably know it from tasty baked goods like cinnamon rolls. You might even think about the candy Red Hots, or chewing gum, or even toothpaste. But in addition to the things we can use in the kitchen and a household with cinnamon, cinnamon is actually a really great warming medicinal herb. And so cinnamon can be used for many things. It's great for our circulation, for helping to warm up the outer extremities of our body. And it's also a great antiviral, so adding cinnamon to a nice warming drink such as a chai or just a regular cinnamon tea can help to boost our immune system and help us to fight off colds and the flu. So today's story is titled Some Like It Hot, and that's in representation of cinnamon's spicy manner. Long ago, the earth formed, and from her grew many, many plants, large and small, spicy and sweet, bitter and salty. Mother Earth named her babies one by one and watched as they grew all around her. She smiled as she watched the vanilla orchid learn to climb up trees and bloom her sweet scenting flowers. The deciduous oak tree learned to shed his leaves and rest during the winter period, only to regrow them fresh in the spring. And the peppermint learned to creep across the landscape, sending his runners under the soil and rocks to search out new places to grow. Each plant explored his or her surroundings, finding just the right spot to grow and spread. Some plants, such as kelp, preferred a watery home in the salty seas. Others, such as pine trees, held on to their leaves all year round to help them adapt to the coldness of the winter climates. One plant who couldn't decide where he liked growing the best was cinnamon. He was so hot and spicy that he decided he wanted to grow in the winter climates like the mighty oak tree. Because of his warming nature, he thought he'd be right at home with the northern plants. He convinced a flock of birds to eat his fruit and fly northwards as far as they could go before resting and depositing the seeds. In this manner, baby cinnamon trees sprouted up and grew big and soon had berries of their own to offer the birds. And so the birds again ate the seeds, flew northward, and once again deposited the seeds until finally cinnamon got his wish and started growing next to the mighty oak. The seedlings grew and grew during the hot, humid summer alongside of the oak, growing like weeds, much taller than the oak saplings. But then fall came, and the chill in the air sent the leaves from all the trees drifting back to Mother Earth, landing on the ground to turn into compost for nourishing the trees in the forest. Cinnamon began to shiver. "What's going on?" he asked the oak tree next to him. "Why, it is time for winter to come and lay a cold blanket of snow upon us," replied the oak. "A cold blanket? But why? Why would you want to be cold? I like to be hot. I want heat." Cinnamon shivered. As being an evergreen tree, he was not used to his leaves falling off. As winter visited the forest, Cinnamon huddled cold and miserable as he felt the heat slowly begin to leave his branches and roots. The mighty oak next to him chuckled at the miserable sight of Cinnamon. "Looks like you'd be better off in the tropics," he said as he stretched his limbs to the sky, unfurling his shiny oak leaves in crisp spring's presence. Cinnamon meekly nodded and produced enough energy to bloom a single flower, which turned into a single berry, he begged a bird to eat the berry and fly south to deposit the seed. Summer in the tropics found Cinnamon's rebirth in the hot, humid climate. "Ah," Cinnamon exclaimed, "this is exactly where I belong." And to this day, you will not find Cinnamon growing anywhere that requires him to shed his leaves and be cold for the winter. I hope you enjoyed today's story. And if you'd like to learn more about Cinnamon, you can find the Cinnamon ebook in my store, and I'll put the link in the description below. If you want to have an entire year of learning about herbs, consider my New to Herbs course, which includes cinnamon and 12 other herbs that will teach you about the medicinal use of herbs throughout the year. Thanks for watching Herbal Roots Zine's Storytime, and I'll see you next time.